Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Well, it's Billy Grantham here, filling in for Winston. He's out, like I said before, he's out shucking some oysters somewhere, I suppose, probably eating some oysters. But good morning, this is old country cousin Billy Grantham. Shout out to Michael Harris out there. We're praying for your paw, okay? All right now. Good morning to Panhandle Outdoors with Billy Grantham today. Usually it's with Winston. We're thrilled to have you. We're going to be welcome on a Wednesday morning here. We're going to welcome you. And the weather is brought to you by, you know who I'm talking about, Mr. Pollard and his crew that's always keeping it real. You go out and work all day long in that heat and humidity, and you come in the afternoon and you get you a nice shower and get you some supper. You want to be comfortable. Give them a call and they'll keep you comfortable working hard for you. The high today is 88 degrees. That is a lot better than what it was the other day, some days back. Low of 77, winds out of the east and blowing about 5 miles an hour. Not too bad. Still got some humidity hanging in the air, about 40% chance of rain blowing up on us. River reading brought to you by who? Mountain Dew? Of course, I love that Mountain Dew myself. Bluntstown River is still dropping, and I'm going to say something about that in a few minutes when we come back on about the Bluntstown River. 2 foot or less and dropping out still. Not enough rain to make it pick up and perk and rise any, but clear, very clear, and good for boating a little bit, but I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes. The tide brought to you by Kent Forest Lawn right here in Panama City. Got a little bump in it, coming in about 6, going out about 6 in the evening. Not much tide at all, and it's going to be getting worse than that in the next couple of days, but then it'll turn right around and go the other direction and start getting some good tides. Maybe the weather will cooperate for you. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. Get some coffee and come back and see me, all right? All right, glad to have you back again. Y'all know what that is right there? That is what you call show enough. That is some Blackberry Jam given to me by Carol Miller. Old Jeff brought that to me this morning. Perhaps we throwed a pure old craving on her a year or so ago when I brought them fig preserves in here and showed them off and to Winston and to Jeff. She made that and give that to me. Look here, y'all can just bet your last dollar that my wife will make up some hot buttermilk biscuits and we'll be eating them probably. Prefer to eat them over in the fall when it's cooler. Does that make any sense at all? Maybe eat them pretty soon. But Blackberry Jam, that took time to go out there and pick them, bring them back and sugar them down and cook them down and put that pectin in them and make them up. We appreciate that. I do. And I'll see what I can bring back to you a little bit later on, all right? That is better than snuff, not half as dusty right there. Blackberry Jam from Carol Miller. Thank you, Carol. I'll be appreciating that till you're better paid, all right? Look here, I want to give a shout out to all the school bus drivers. Look here, every single one of them that out there driving the school bus. School's fixing to kick back off pretty soon, and it's going to be hair pulling out, and it's going to be tension and nerves and all them bus coordinators that's trying to figure out who goes to what bus and who's calling in sick today and how we got to manage that. I appreciate that. Let me tell you, I did a little of that school bus driving several years back, and let me tell you what, I'd just soon be a police officer or the corrections officer like I was at the prison than I had to be a school bus driver. Y'all understand what I'm saying? That's out there doing it. Big shout out to y'all. Look here, Don Dowling that worships at the church that I worship at gets up in the morning here directly, drives a school bus slam full of youngins, drops them off at the school up there, goes in and teaches class. Some of it he teaches outside in that heat and humidity. Hold on, I'm not through yet. Then he loads them all back up on the bus in the afternoon, takes them all home. I'm not through. He goes back to the ball field and coaches football out there on that ball field till, I don't know, 6:30 or something. Loads up in his truck and drives home. And just walks in the door and has to get a shower. He's spent, give out. There's a bunch of them that do that. Bill Thomas does it. Coach Nader, what's his name? Nables. Coach Nables does it. And it's all over the county like that, of school teachers that are actually bus drivers too. Look here, a big old attaboy goes out to you. I appreciate you. I know Winston appreciates it too. Folks appreciate what you're doing out there. They really do. And I wished I could do better for you. I wished I had a bunch of money. If my nose was blowing money, running money, I'd blow it all on you. But it's not. I'm sorry. Anyhow, look here. What I was going to tell you a while ago about the river reading, and the Bluntstown River is 2 feet. Winston was talking about getting on the sandbar. Hunter Barnes, that I know so well that hunts up there where I hunt up at Appalachian around, was mentioning the other day at John Red's Landing that the river was so low and in such bad shape that if you didn't run betwixt the two buoys, you was on a sandbar. Look here, they used to dredge that river years ago when I was a boy, and you could run that river pretty much knowing you had 8 foot from buoy to buoy. That ain't true no more, folks. That ain't true no more. They don't dredge that river no more. A barge couldn't go up that river if he wanted to. Now it's almost impossible when that river gets down around 2 and 3 feet to run it with a common boat. You got to pay attention. You got to pay attention out there. The snags will be sticking up that you can see, and you got to watch how you going up that river because in places it's low, okay? I just want to throw that at you and see if it wouldn't help your feelings a little bit. To be prepared when you're out there. Years ago, when they dredged that thing, they would throw that sand out yonder on the hill. That was what Winston was talking about, the sandbar. There'll be like a half mile of sandbar there, just as pretty as Panama City Beach out there. You could get out on that thing and just throw a football and a frisbee and grill and cook and wade in the water and just have a good time. Fish a little bit if you wanted to. Big old sandbar. And if it got too crowded, you could load up and go around the bend to the next one or whatever you wanted to do. Well, it ain't quite that way no more because they don't dredge it no more. And I guess that's a good thing. Somebody knows more what they're doing than I do. Hey, remember what I mentioned about a week or so back about Lake Seminole Sneed's Park, fishing along that abutment? There you go. You remembered. I thought you did. Look here. They've come in there and sprayed the grass out there. There ain't no more grass out there. I don't know who did it, whether the Corps of Engineers did it, the county or the city did, but I appreciate it. I do. Because used to, you couldn't throw off out there without hanging the grass. And there was plenty of catfish and brim out there, but now it was a lot nicer and easier to fish out there, even fly fishing. And I like to do with me some of that right there myself. Put that thing in. Yes, sir. I like doing some of that myself. And maybe, just maybe, me and old Lane might go out there this evening and try doing a little of it on the bank and try to catch some of them good ones. All right, I'm gonna show you some good ones in a few minutes. Our first picture, we're gonna show you something and get the topic going. Look here. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna put another cricket on. We'll come right back in just a minute. All right, welcome back. Glad to have you back again. Look here, we're going to talk a little bit now about some things that are truly of your interest, all right? Right here, this first picture you got is a fawn. Did you know and were you aware of that a doe's gestation period is 201 days, 6.7 months. Look here, sit down on the couch and do some thinking, a little bit of cogitating, and you can look back about the rut when you saw last year what was running around and start counting forward to that 6.7 months, and you can find out when them little ones are going to be born. What I'm telling you that for is a reason to slow down a little bit. I've been seeing them deer where I'm at in northeast Jackson County walking around in the broad daylight at noon. All right, my reason to tell you is right behind them will be one of them or two more or three more walking around behind them. Slow yourself down and be a little more cautious, because that buck that's walking behind her that's a fawn right now is going to be that Mr. Man that you want to get about 3.5 years later on. All right? All right, let's see what's the next one. Look here, Christy Winkle and Johnny Johnson. Look here, Christy is a duck hunting loving thing. She's in a real estate business up there in Jackson County. She really enjoys it. And Johnny, he kill an old buck from time to time at Appalachia. They love to catch them bass, and they're good at it. And I like seeing them come on. We're going to have to get her on the show one day, being that she's as pretty as she is. It might help a little bit, since I got a face like a foot, and it don't help the TV commercials very well. But bring Christy up here and get her on the show, because she's got a lot of fishing and hunting stories to tell you, all right? Let's see the next one. Look here. This next one was Thelma Bloat, if I remember right. Thelma and Peggy Banks. They fished together, two women, and I just saw last night on Facebook, they were frying up some brim and cornbread and having a good time. But that's just a little, some of them old ooh-wee brim. Ooh-wee, y'all know what a ooh-wee is, don't you? When you hook that thing and you got him on that pole and you dragging him and he comes easing up beside the boat, you say, ooh-wee, and you pick him up. Because that's what they are. Them some ooh-wees right there. All right, let's see what else. Right there, Adam Mercer. Y'all remember me showing some stuff 2 or 3 weeks ago about Adam with some bass and what have you. That's some of them ooh-wees right there. I'm not sure where he got them at. Look here, folks, don't mind me showing the pictures, but they will cut my throat if I try to talk about where they caught them at. Not only they don't want me to tell them where that log was at, they don't even want to talk about where the river or the lake or the back sloughs. All they want to do is say, you can show the pictures off. But that's the end of it right there. Yeah, let's see what else we got here. There, oh, Christy Winkle again. I done warned y'all. And John, they can go out there and rope in them bass. They won't tell me what they're throwing. They won't tell me that. They won't tell me where they're at. It ain't too hard to cogitate and figure that out, though, where they're at, because I can do it. I know all them places up there. All right, let's see what else. Look here. That right there, I can't find it. I don't have it written down. But all I'm saying is there's some ooh-wees in there. But that's a big mess. You know what I wished? If I had a mess like that, I wish I had a fish scaler and a sharp knife. But you can knock that out in no time and get them all ready while you got that grease shredded back there? Yeah. You could get it all up and have a fine fish fry. Yes, sir. What else, love? Look at A.J. Johnson. Played football for Sneeds. Blocked somebody. Got them guns. You got your ticket for the gun show. He got them big old pythons right there on his arm. He's a nurse and a good one at that. But he's also a fisherman. Got a hybrid right there. I asked him, could I show the picture? Guess what he done? Only the picture you can show. Look at there. There's some more of them. Oh, AJ, and I can't remember that other gentleman's name that was with him right there. But Trent, okay, but I can't remember no more than that. But of course, you see the sign at the bottom of it, Chattahoochee. There he is with some nice ones right there. The backwaters of Lake Seminole. fishing right there. I don't think they was in a tournament, but they did. Matthew Buckshot Grantham. Y'all seen him on here showing off redfish and turkeys and fishing of all kinds. Went the other day and caught a mess. He's got them ready for the grease. He's got them. I can have my cooker ready and fired up with grease in it in 5 minutes with that right there, walking up with that stuff right there. If you got the, can you bring some cornmeal? I thought you could. And we could have them things fried up, and I'll cook you up some cornbread. We'd have a good time. That's Matthew Buckshot Grantham. There's old AJ again. He don't just catch the bass. He don't just catch the hybrids. He gets some good catfish too. And guess where he's at? Lake Seminole. Y'all heard me before talk about throw that thing out there in the evening after them thunderstorms go through and let that thing set. All right, we're gonna take a break. All right, y'all remember me talking about how low the river was and how dangerous it was. Well, look here at this picture right here. This is the Bristol boat ramp in Liberty County there at Bristol. That's how low it is, where you couldn't even launch a boat in and out their boat ramp. But guess what? Their county commission got on the ball, and they getting it dug out. Probably done got it dug out. Get it where you could launch a boat in there and get in and out of it to get down on that river. And what I tell you a while ago, fly fish a little bit. Yeah, they working on it. Bill Mayo, old Pastor Bill Mayo, and a missionary on the road all the time. Every from time to time, he'll catch one of them hoo-wees and pull him up there to the side of the boat. And then from time to time, he'll have the bucket, if he fishes enough of them, to show off a bucket full. Ain't that nice? That's just enough for two people right there to have what they call a mess. Not why they call it a mess. I never understood that. But it's a mess of them anyhow to fry up and eat. All right, I'm going to say this. You don't have to be wealthy. You don't have to have lots and lots of money to be able to get out there and manage food plots and manage your stuff. That right there is my old tractor, my 40-horse New Holland. I bought it used. I was going to show you a picture of my old disc. You don't have to have brand new equipment to show off everything. That's the bucket. The front of that bucket, I got that hook welded on there so I can pick up and move things as well. And you see it welded on the front of it right there? It's just means to try to help yourself. And it's just an old used tractor that I used to disc with, 4-wheel drive. Don't never buy one without a bucket on the front and 4-wheel drive. Don't do it. Don't let somebody talk you into it. You'll regret it, because a bucket is like walking around with a wheelbarrow, just like that. And used, wore out 4-wheeler I picked up, used. That's something I can take corn down in there with and what have you. Now me standing out there in a little corn patch I got there behind the house, it ain't down in the swamp, it ain't deep down yonder in the woods, it's out my back door. It's to keep them deer browsing and coming around and staying interested. And sunflowers out there. Now that corn was broadcasted by hand. I don't have no expensive seeder to put it out there with. You don't need one. Fertilizer and broadcast that corn. You ain't gonna harvest it. You ain't got it out there for you to take it up, you got it for the deer. All right? Pine trees, plant some pine trees if you got an open field. Some of those are volunteers, but it's got a little bit of cover. And guess what the bucks did last year? They rubbed all over them. All right? Long food plot. I'm fixing to put some more corn through there and some late stuff. Fixing to cut that in again and fertilize it and put some late corn probably next week when I know I'm fixing to got some rain coming. When I got rain, I'll be putting out that. Box house. It's withstood the hurricane. It withstood a couple of bulls that I had out there rubbing against it and scratching all the time. But it stood up, the roof blowed off of it. Look here, there's a pine tree that I planted last year. Somebody found the pine trees laying in the road that fell out of a truck, brought them to Beecham's Hardware. I got me a dozen of them and I put them out. That pine tree's a year old right there. It's a year old. So that's how quick they'll grow to give you some cover for your game. Now you see that vine standing up right there? That's a scuppling vine that I cut and rooted with root tone and set it out in that pot to get it germinated. Now why would I do that? Why is that interesting? Because deer love them. You put them down in that swamp near your food plot down in there somewhere and get it established, and it'll grow up through them woods up in there and drop them things down around August. It'll start dropping them scupplings out and the deer are all in there. Not because you hunting in August and September, but because they want to hang around and they like you a whole lot. They want to visit you and hang out a lot. All right? Let's see what else we got. Look here, hunting season. No, it ain't hunting season yet, but what I want to talk about, let me find myself. One minute. It's coming up. Now's a good time when they open up for dove season in September 24th at Appalachia. You can drive in there and do you some dove hunting and do a little scouting and looking around all at the same time. And get yourself prepared for bow season in there. That place is slap full of does, man, and food plots all over the place. 5 and 6 and 10 and 20 acre food plots that you can hunt on in there all the time. Look here, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I know I'm a little bit unorthodox and kind of loud and obnoxious a little bit, but it pays off when you're in a dormitory with about 180 convicts in there to be a little bit off the wall. But we sure appreciate you coming and tuning in. Y'all take care, and God bless you.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.